Shaman drum is one of the most important shamanic tools and most powerful you could work with. Today, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about why and perhaps encourage you and inspire you to get a drum for yourself if you are stepping on a shamanic path and you would like to connect more with your practice and more with the spirit world. So please stay with me and I hope you'll enjoy this video. In shamanism, we consider our tools as spirits, and when you work with a drum, you don't work just with a tool, you work with the spirit of the drum. So from the moment you are working with it, you are connecting to another consciousness, another being, another ally that you are inviting into your space, inviting into your life. So it's incredibly important to treat it with respect, to treat it with love, to honor it, to take care of it, and to form a relationship and friendship with, just as you would with your spirit guides, with your allies and your guardians. Shaman's drums are incredibly rich in symbolism, and just by looking at the shape of a drum, and you see in this case is a perfect circle which connects us to the universal wisdom of everything running in cycles, which is really birth, death and rebirth. It connects very often to the medicine wheel. So if you are working with the medicine wheel and direction of the east, south, west and the north, shaman drum is a really beautiful way to honor that as well. Drum is really an essence of the Mother Earth. It's the belly, it's the womb. So the spirit of the drum, at least for me, connects to that life creation-like principle. The drum itself is, for me, the divine feminine. There is just so much beauty and so many layers to it. But one thing that I would like to also point out to you, that drum on its own is not just what you see here, is also a drumstick, and that is really just a magical union, is a sacred union between the feminine and the masculine. So just as we think about the drum itself here as an element of feminine, as an element of Mother Earth, of the womb, of the belly, this is an element of the masculine, and just as these two come together, that's where the magic happens, and that's where the creation of the sound, the sacred union, the connection to the spirit. A lot of people will play a drum with the hand, which is absolutely fine. You know, this is also could represent the masculine, and just even if you compare the shape of your forearm and the drumstick, you can see the similarities already. But I would really encourage you to honor both elements of your drum, and very often the drumstick is a bit forgotten as a sacred object. In some cultures, like in Siberia, Mongolia and eastern part of Europe, the drumstick also is used for divination and healing, so very often it is used on its own as well. And I think that's pretty magical. That's amazing that we have these two elements that create one. Another key elements of the drum that you very often notice is really what's at the back of the drum. So my drum is a little bit different. It doesn't have the typical strings going across, but in most drums you'll see the strings running across the back, very often again symbolizing the direction of the worlds, east, west, south, north and what's in between. And when they cross in the middle, they really symbolize the shamans or the spirit soul in a moment where it bridges different realities between the spirit and the physical. In my case, it's a slightly different build here. You can see the actual spirit of the drum is holding the structure at the back. The center of the drum is over here where the heart chakra usually is placed, and I have beautiful protective ribbons as well. The center of the drum is actually really important, and what the Siberian shamanism teaches is that when we play drum, we're not supposed to really play it in the middle, exactly in the middle of drum, but more on the side of the drums. This is where we tend to play it very often. We honor a certain direction by playing in a certain place of the drum. And we are very, very gentle with the center of the drum, because this is where the spirit of the drum lives. One thing as well that is worth noting is that the back of the drum is incredibly important in our shamanic journey. So again, the front and the back has a very, very significant role. Very often when we do soul retrievals, we bring those pieces, those missing pieces of souls right here at the back of the drum, or where we travel to the lower or the upper world and we're supposed to bring something back into this world. This is a very sort of useful, handy part of our drums. There are also accounts and reports of shamans dreaming where when they travel, for example, down the rivers, down the waterfalls, very often, again, this is being used as a way to travel down to the lower and lower part of the dream world, the lower world. When you work with the drum, consider those two things quite rich in symbolism and connect to the front and the back equally. But each single part of the drum, it's created with a thought, with a connection, with symbolism, with a storytelling. So these tools are spirits that are trying to tell us a story, trying to connect us to a sacred wisdom, are trying to empower us with the ancient and ancestral knowledge. So I would like you to start thinking about these tools in such way, because every time you look at it, every time you work with it, you might discover something that has incredible meaning to you, whether that's in a moment or for the lifetime. You will notice on my drum that I have quite a beautifully decorated front. It's a really symbolism for the upper, the middle, and the lower world. So here you can see a connection to the ancestral village, to the world of the dead. You have the middle world where the healers and the shamans and the communities are gathering, and you have also the plant medicine. And here the kind of we're reaching through the farther sky to the upper worlds. And it's also quite personal to me because I got this drum before I was given a shamanic name by my teacher and by my mentor. And it was quite surprised to me that my own teacher gifted me with the name of sun deer. And obviously drum is incredibly sacred to me, incredibly special, and you can see there is a huge storytelling here about the sun and the deer. And I thought that was pretty awesome, where sometimes certain things find you and they become even more meaningful afterwards with time. And no wonder why I was drawn really to this particular drum. Even sometimes when I look at it, it does really look to me like a sun. And of course there is a lot of things to consider when you're getting your own drum. There's a question which skin to choose, whether you should buy it, whether you should make it, what size of the drum should you consider for yourself, how you should initiate yourself with your drum. There is a ceremony to perform, which is a cleansing and blessing that I really, really encourage. There is a ceremony of initiating yourself and getting to know the spirit of the drum. There is also quite a lot to learn about how to play it, how to find your sound with the drum, how to heal with a drum, and also how to decorate and personalize your drum. So as I said, we could be talking here for hours and hours, just getting really into the details. But perhaps if you'd like to work with your drum on a deeper level and connect with it on a deeper level, reach out to me, and I do help my mentees with getting that connection and finding their own personal, unique ways that they could use to work with the drum, and really that they could enhance their abilities and skills. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this short video. If you'd like to know more about how to work with me and how you can use my services, please look at all the details in the description box below. Thank you for being here once again. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay present, stay joyful, stay healthy, and I hope to see you soon again.